What's up, Gemini? I'm Chris. Welcome to the House of Light Shadow, and welcome to your October reading. We were pushed in a big way to grow in October. Gemini, are we growing? King of Swords. Coming into our power in a big way. Gemini, I think that we kind of face some truths about ourselves. I think Gemini has been in a process of self-discovery. And I think in October, what happens here is that all the things we've been processing, all the things we've been learning about ourselves, all the things that we've sort of, been digesting about the way our life has been lately, about the way we've been living things, the way we've been living. The King of Swords says that now we're changing, we're maturing, we're taking those lessons, Gemini, and we're growing. In October, I really feel like we're going to be able to look at things in our life and almost on paper be able to see how we've grown. That could mean an expansion of your bank account, right? That could be improvement of fitness. It can be improvement in wardrobe. It can be improvement in all these things that are tangible, that we can now see clearly as a product of the work we've been doing, and not just the work in terms of money, even though that's a big one. But if your money changes this month, it's because of the changes that's been going on inside of you. It's because of like that mental energy, that air energy that's been moving so quickly and changing so much, now becoming, fixed. King of Swords I think of as the Aquarius card. It's that sort of air energy becoming fixed. Gemini, what we're looking at here with the Seeker is, I think, a period now of reflection. I think that October is a month of not just a lot of doing, but of deeper understanding. A month of spirituality. If you meditate, if you read cards, if you are a person who goes to church who hasn't been in a while, October is a month where we get back into these sort of rituals, where we sort of connect to our purpose. And last month, Gemini, we talked about how we're coming back into our sense of self-worth. And I think October now is where we see that sense of self-worth start to come out into reality. Sometimes the way you treat your things says something about how you care about yourself and how you care about your life. And Gemini, I think we're in a place now where we care about our lives, where this cardinal air energy of Libra season makes us a little more serious. And with Saturn now direct, with Jupiter and Sagittarius for the last few months, it's like we have this desire to take control, where we don't have to be, one of these people who is no fun and somber, but you have to pick and choose now what you're serious about. Gemini, we've had these tower moments. Have we had these tower moments? But what the tower always does is it brings us back in touch with our truth. And what it does is that it now lets us see that we have this big wide world open in front of us. We've been through pain, Gemini. We've dealt with loss. Have we dealt with loss? But I've been personally feeling like I've been in a tower moment. And what happens though? We have the ability to rebuild. So what I'm going to say here, Gemini, is that the tower has sort of fallen in many ways. Whether you experience some real life like bullshit, or if you just have a radical change of attitude right now. A sort of different approach to how you're going to live, a different approach to how you're going to be. October sees us now becoming better, becoming bigger. Gemini, but you can't escape that Nine of Swords anxiety, can you? All your insecurities. All the ways in which we haven't been doing the right thing. And here, Gemini, there's sort of going to be a lag period, right? Where we are sort of on the path. Like, imagine this tower is completely crumbled, where we have this blank canvas. We have this thing that we can build on, this foundation. But there's sort of a lag period. And I think October is the lag period from when we start to build to when we get to a place where these anxieties sort of start to quiet down. It feels to me, Gemini, by the end of October, these anxieties are going to be quieted down. Because why? Because we learned our lesson and we're taking control. because we're not afraid of the truth. We're not afraid of the truth of our relationships. We're not afraid of the truth of the changes that we need to make. We're not afraid of the truth of also how we fucked up in a lot of ways. Also the ways we allowed ourselves to become sort of stagnant. The Tower comes into our life when things haven't been changing. Everything has to change. Has to. Nothing stays the same. Relationships have to evolve or they die. Work and career, you have to make progress or else it's going to fall apart. It's going to show up in your emotions. It's going to show up in the way you act. It's going to show up in the way that you interact with people. This guy can be a dick. Like, Gemini, we can be dicks. But I don't feel that that's us going forward. I think from now to the rest of the year, while we have that sister sign of Sagittarius, like doing real well with Jupiter, we find peace. October, Gemini, is a time where we find peace, where we have rites of passage, where we feel like we're maturing, where we're feeling like we're growing up, where relationships become more serious, where our finances are improving and now we can do things with our money that we weren't able to do before. Four of Pentacles is like we're winning, right? We're not quite at the Wands, I'm sorry. We're not quite at the 6 where we're like, yeah, like in the streets, like getting a parade thrown for us because we deserve a parade. But we're in the place where now we know we're okay. October, Gemini, brings the sense of now knowing that things are fundamentally okay. We've sort of known, right? We sort of knew in a way deep down inside that we can handle what comes our way, that anything that pops up is manageable, we can deal with it, we'll come out of the other side like sort of okay. But sometimes it didn't feel like that. Even though we knew it, it didn't feel like that. October, Gemini, is peacefulness. And it invigorates us. It allows us for the rest of the year to accomplish as much as we can. It's not time yet to start saying about how 2020 is going to be our best year. We still have 3 months left of 2019. It's a cramming session. Power. This month we have a full moon in Aries. Guys, by the end of the month, or mid-month, I think it's like October 14th or so. By the middle of the month, you're going to be feeling this peace. You're going to be feeling lighter. Again, it's because you're taking control now. Because we are being powerful, because we are not just knowing we're powerful, but we're acting on it. We're living our power. Might not be the most fun, like look at his face. It's not going to be the most fun, but we've had our fun, Gemini. That's partly how we ended up here, isn't it? To be honest, maybe a little too much fun. Maybe a little too much distracting of ourselves. This month and the rest of the year is perfect time to turn our attention towards our status, to turn our attention to our reputation. Gemini, this is a great month to work on our reputation, to follow up on things you say you're going to do, to set goals and accomplish them, to let people know that we've changed. Not to just talk about it. We can talk about it forever. All we do is talk sometimes, Gemini. You know how Geminis do that? We kind of overpromise and underdeliver sometimes. Because we get so excited. We're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be the best thing ever, you'll see. And then we like forget about it a minute later. Walk your talk right now, Gemini. Think about how other people see you. Sometimes we're very much like, oh, we don't care what people think, but we care. And the same way we can be a mirror to other people can be a mirror of ourselves. So care about how you come across. Care about your appearance. Not just physical appearance, but care about the way you're coming off to people. About whether you're bringing positivity or you're being a grouch. About how you look when you present yourself when you walk into work every day. About the way you interact with people, about the things that you show them. About the way you give back to people who've given you a lot. the way you follow up on the things you say you're going to do, and the way you live the things you said you were going to do. Because Gemini, Knight of Wands, we have so much potential for success. I think we are just in a place of manifestation, of that like nice Gemini ego, but it's not the swords that are kind of too much air. We take that ego and we translate it into fire, which is action. And with that comes confidence. With following up on the things you say you're going to do, with writing something down on a to-do list and accomplishing it, you go from the Knight to the Emperor, to just the beginning of that feeling of fire and movement. And by November, we're going to be feeling like we just accomplished everything we say we're going to. And literally say it. We're in cardinal air season right now, right? Speaking things into being. Gemini, we've been kind of stuck. Two of Swords to me is like overthinking. We've been sort of thinking, we've been trying to, it's been internal, and it hasn't been wrong, it hasn't been bad. It's what we needed to do, is our journey, right? To figure out who we are now, to figure out our plans. But this to me feels like a lot of inaction. This to me, again, says a lot of over-promising and under-delivering, being sort of paralyzed by, am I going to be successful at this or not? Am I going to be rejected or not? Is it going to go well or not? It's not. We don't think now. We just act. Because who we were before the world is over. But this is like composting, right? It's like taking your old self and burying it in the ground. And now it's fertilizer. It's a little morbid, but it's fertilizer, right? The world isn't just a completion. It's the potential for what comes next. Gemini, we're in a big place right now where our lives are changing in a big way, in an obvious way, in a visible way, in a tangible way. Our lives are changing. We are going to look back on who we were a year ago and say, who dat? Seven of Pentacles. This is what I meant when it was a journey. It's been time. Now is the time. Now we've done enough thinking. We've done enough processing. We've done enough. We're working on our personal selves. And now we're saying, what about our public selves? Libra season teaches us the virtues of beauty and aesthetic, right? It's not just materialistic. It says something. It tells people about who you are. Gemini, we've healed. It feels to me also with Temperance like there's this humongous, gigantic creative urge. And that's why I said this month is a month of manifesting. It's a month of changing. It's like you have a lot of energy. And maybe now we're realizing, Gemini, how much energy we actually have to make things happen. And maybe we weren't there, maybe we were still working on picking ourselves up. But the way now to heal, Gemini, it's like, when you're in bed and like maybe you like broke your leg and you have to keep it up and heal it. But then after a while, like it benefits you to start moving it and start flexing it and start stretching it and start maybe trying to walk a little bit. That's the place we're in now, where whether we're fully healed or not, it's time to start walking again. Because then it's just going to get too stiff. And it's going to heal badly, right? We want to start moving. We want to start living externally. You see, this is what I mean here, Gemini. After death comes temperance. After the losses that we've had. And they've been big ones. This year has tried us. It's tried us. But now, we're about the future. Now, all that pain that we felt, all that hurt, all the this isn't fair, all that why me. There are times where I thought, like, is someone doing brujeria on me? Because, like, shit. One thing after another. But now we have the power to create stability for ourselves. And now we take all that pain, all that anger, all the uncertainty we might have felt and put it into action. This is what I said with the Ace of Wands, right? About starting to walk. This is that initiating force that brings us to material success. Gemini, October, it's a month for doing in the world. It's a month for setting goals and acting on them. You'll find peace of mind. You'll find connection. You'll find the love of life. Not just love of another person, but love of life. Like feeling like life is joyous, life should be celebrated. That's this thing that October connects us back to. We naturally feel that as Geminis, right? We bring that lightheartedness, that sense of joy to the world. And now October, Gemini, brings us back to that. Because we are conquering our demons. Because we're facing our insecurities. Because we're putting ourselves out into the world. And we're seeing success. And it's like things are happening now. If it's felt for a while like things are not happening, things are happening. Things are evolving. Things are changing. Things are transforming. No more stagnation. No more, I'll do that next week. Or next year. 2020 is going to be my year. No, man. 2019 can still, you can cram as much success into it as you can. So really, Gemini, the core of this reading, be ambitious right now. Dream big, think big. Try, push, apply, right? Reach out to people. Fix up your LinkedIn, get that like try. That's all I can say to you, Gemini. It's time to try something different. You don't have a choice. We figured out what doesn't fit anymore, and now it's time to put it into action. I love you guys. You have the best month ever. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.